This happened to me when I was 13 years old. I was staying at my grandparents' farm for the summer. Their place was isolated, surrounded by miles of cornfields and woods. As a city kid, I loved the change of scenery, playing outside all day, and helping with chores made me feel independent. But what happened one evening changed the way I saw that farm forever. It was late July, and one of my nightly chores was to take table scraps out to the chicken coop after dinner. The sun had just set, and the sky was fading into a deep orange. I grabbed the bucket of leftovers and headed out to the coop. The chickens clucked softly as I dumped the food into their feeder, and I stood there for a moment, watching them. That's when I heard it.
Hey, over here.
The voice came from the cornfield just beyond the coop. It was soft and quiet, like someone trying to get my attention without being too loud. I froze. My grandparents' property was private, and they didn't get visitors. I stared, at the edge of the cornfield, where the tall stalks swayed slightly in the breeze. "Hello?" I called out, thinking maybe it was one of the neighbors. The voice answered.
Can you help me? I'm lost.
It sounded like a man, but his voice was shaky, almost off. My stomach churned. Why would someone be wandering around in a cornfield at night? "Who are you?" I asked, my voice trembling.
Just come here.
The voice said, softer now. I took a step closer to the edge of the cornfield, squinting to see through the stalks. That's when I saw movement. Just a quick flash of something dark shifting deeper into the rows. My heart was pounding. "No, you come out here," I said, trying to sound braver than I felt. The voice was silent for a moment. Then it said, "Come here, kid, I won't hurt you." That's when I knew something was seriously wrong. I turned to run back to the house, but before I could move, I heard heavy footsteps behind me. I whipped around just in time to see a man burst out of the cornfield. He was tall and thin, wearing dirty clothes, and his face was covered in stubble. He lunged at me, grabbing my arm with one hand and trying to cover my mouth with the other. I panicked and started kicking and thrashing as hard as I could. I managed to bite down on his hand, and he let out a sharp yell, loosening his grip. I twisted free and fell to the ground, scrambling backward as he tried to grab me again. "Help!" I screamed at the top of my lungs. The porch light flipped on, and I saw my grandpa step outside holding his shotgun. He shouted something I couldn't make out, and the man froze. For a second, we just stared at each other. Then, he turned and bolted back into the cornfield, disappearing into the stalks. My grandpa ran over to me, helped me up, and immediately called the police. They searched the cornfield and the surrounding area, but they never found the guy. For the rest of the summer, I refused to go near the cornfield alone. I still don't know who that man was, or what he would have done if my grandpa hadn't been there.